Welcome to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Morocco. The ACIO has a long history of helping humanity from the deep recesses of time. This is the first time the ACIO has become available to the public, aside from an earlier visitation by their 15th Division, the Wingmakers. Peter the Insider, originally from Slovakia, is the director of their 12th Division, and Jessica Arael Morocco is in Cicada 3301, their 6th Division. Together, they provide intel, insights on current events, a deeper perspective on aliens and UFOs, super soldier missions with Unit 374 in the Merge, and news relevant for disclosure. Don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our latest intel and post any questions and comments below.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Disclosures. I'm here with Peter the Insider, and we have an update. Looking forward to talking about a few different things. We will be covering AI and time travel and all sorts of other subjects, anything that comes up. But without further delay, let's get right into it and welcome in Peter the Insider.
So I want to say hello to you, Jessica, and to all of our regular and maybe not so regular listeners. I think we've got very interesting stuff to talk about. And first things first, I want to point at certain gentleman. I don't want to get his name public. He claimed he was, I don't want to say even the countries, be more specific about the country where he lives in and all kind of that stuff. And he told us, this older gentleman, and he told us, I mean me and Jessica, that he was, or maybe still is, involved in 20 and Back, aka time traveling program. And then this gentleman start to insist to get solid proof of, let's say, evidences about, okay, how it is or how it was in time traveling. And I told Jessica immediately once we hang up the call that I don't believe this gentleman any single word. Because in the vast majority cases, what is like, I don't know, 70-80% of cases, if you are lucky and get any evidence, good lawyer will make fun from you on court. Any single judge will not take it serious. Or what is more, as I said, well, like 70-80%, you will not get any single evidence. Or as I said, like you take photos, you make either audio or video footages, and bam, they disappeared. Or
Right.
let's say they are, how can I say it? The photos disappeared and audio/video footages they exist. Let's say they exist, but they are that kind of damaged, my bad, that even the best technicians in the world, for example, we know that Kodak was the best companies. They made photos and all kind of that stuff. They will be like, we cannot reconstruct this footage or something like that, or photos. And that's kind of weird. I know maybe you are not happy about what I am saying, Jessica, but as I said, I don't wanna
True, it's true. Yeah, we had a conversation with someone that got very angry, and it seemed
But give me a second.
sense.
I think it is good that I will not mention this name of
Yeah.
this gentleman. It's good. I don't want to mention the country, but I think it is good because I was like, what the heck is going on? If this gentleman will or was or is involved in time traveling program, he will knew this immediately. Period. End of story. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. But there's also an element of competition and saying that they have a specific narrative. And if you don't agree with that narrative, then everyone else is wrong that doesn't agree with them, which is part of the problem with this community, is that some people, and not just this community, but overall, when it comes to this topic, people think, well, you're not real because you don't agree with us, but it doesn't mean it's not necessarily real. It's just that you are not a part of this specific program, and yet you expect everyone to believe everything you say, but you are not willing to look at some facts that other people have to say. And so, like Peter, you have predicted many things, so I can back you without even a blinking an eye in saying that I know that what you've said has come to pass. Some of these other people, I don't have any proof of what they said. On good honor, I trust that they're telling me the truth. But then when they turn around and said only we are right, or we should be believed and no one else should be believed, or unless they fit into our group, then they believe. I mean, that's
sorry for interrupting you, Jessica. I know it is very impolite. And this is it. What we are not doing and what we never do. I mean, we never said like, hey, we are patent owners. We own the truth. Like, what the heck? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Even myself, I am doubting ACIO database, and people are like, what the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? Insider is saying that ACIO database and stuff is BS, aka bullshit. And I am not saying like that, but hey, it is like, yeah, in 20 to 30% of cases, even I saw it, or I went through it, or let's say I've got certain sources, right?
Right.
And I got it. Like, okay, I trust those people 100%ly because they are on my level. Like, everything what they said happened. But the rest of it, ACIO database, all the files and all kind of that stuff, I am not saying that they are fake, but it is like, I will say it and like, okay, I will spread it to the public, but I will say it is if, or it is big if, or big maybe. Do you know what I mean? That means if you are a real deal truth seeker, you need to open the internet and you need to search through the internet for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's wrong attitude. I don't know what is your point of view about at this, Jessica. But
I think people, there's different pockets of truth, and people have their belief systems. I know for us that I have been documenting your information since 2016, and that when you said something and it happens, it's kind of like The Simpsons. I go back and I'll say, oh, on this date you said this, and it's a fact. I mean, if you want to say that that's not real, then go ahead and say it's not real, but we actually have something tangible that we can prove. Now, some of these other people don't have that, but yet people are very committed to them, and they feel that they sound intelligent, or they've said it so much that people start to believe it because of repetition.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And maybe there is some truth in it, but that's not the point. The point is the way that people dismiss. They're not in a position to dismiss us. You know, it's like you don't throw rocks if you live in glass houses. So essentially, they're living in a glass house without them acknowledging that they are, and that becomes a dangerous game. So if people want to hit us like head on, then we're prepared for that. We'd rather not, you know, we would rather, you know, just let people, you know, carry on with what they're doing, but you don't have permission to just like say that we're wrong, or, you know, that we're lying, or that we can't prove anything. I can prove things. So that's up to the individual. I know that it's a competitive arena. I don't know why it really shouldn't be. People should be exchanging information, and even they would find out how to validate some.
Exactly, Jessica. Sorry for once again for interrupting you. I absolutely don't understand. Let's say, let's take it, you know, that it is a huge cloud, you know, and let's call them whistleblowers or alternative community people. They are getting information out, and instead them being unified, they start to compete, and now I've got better and more actual info and all kind of that stuff, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I never ever said about anybody that it is my competition. I mean competitor, my bad.
It's not supposed to be. So that's the problem. You and I get, you know, say, oh, you know, we saw some of your information, would like to talk about it or whatever, and then they start getting defensive and getting upset.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone wants to know their background information that the ACIO knows. Some people really want it, some people don't want it. You know, it's like me being a psychic. I know this for sure, that there are people like, oh, you're a psychic, I don't want to be around you because I don't want you looking at my life.
Yeah, because for somebody who everybody who is psychic is a witch or witcher, just by the way.
Well, not just that, it's just that they don't want their life to be transparent to anyone.
No, but how in the world, Jessica, be honest with me, how in the world somebody can say this, and I will not watch my language bullshit, that just because you are psychic, you are a witch? I mean, not witch, but for according their, I don't know, weird ass taste. Okay, it absolutely doesn't make sense.
Well, there's I mean, not like in many cultures, they don't see me as a witch. They just see me as someone that could pry into their personal lifestyle, and people are very protective over their soul, which they should be, in their personal information. But I'm not one of those psychics that starts prying. I learned early on that even when you give messages to people, they're like, hey, get out of my space. You know, not everyone. Some of them are like, what else did you see? You know,
depends. But Jessica, hey, if I will have nothing to hide, do you know what I mean? For real, I will like, hey, this is my soul. I will build you a highway. It is wide open. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It is not complicated. What the heck?
But not only that, Peter, people don't have to be worried about everyone stealing their soul.
No. Not stealing souls, but I mean, just so. I mean, to see if you don't have nothing to hide, there is no single worry, no single reason to be worried. And correct me, please, if I am wrong.
Peter, I've had people say to me, And this is another horrible thing that people are doing. They're saying, oh, these people that work with the SSP, they're the ones that are putting people in my labs. They're sexually abusing people. And I've actually had people contact me and say, stop sexually raping people or something like that. And I'm like, that's the most horrible thing possible. And I said, first of all, I said, I'm not interested. Second of all, you know, people it's such a horrible thing. We've talked against it so many times. So why are you saying accusing others like that? So there's I don't know if it's some kind of extremism or reactionary issues. I'm always open to talk about it. I know people are afraid, but if we're talking about it and telling people it's a problem, obviously it means that we want people to be aware of it, not that we're interested in doing it. I mean,
Yeah, you
I'm
are right.
interested in it, but
Hey, my wife and she's like, she was like, okay, do you know what? If you want, because you know it's kind of touchy stuff to talk about publicly. If you want, then do it. My wife was sexually abused from like 3, 4 to 15, 16, something like that. And no, not in her family, because she doesn't have a family. I mean, yeah, you know, physical mother and father and all kind of that stuff, but she was kidnapped, and it was in this huge laboratories and all kind of that stuff. They were brainwashed and all kind of that stuff. You know, this from my point of view, one of the worst, if not worst, is Disney program, because pretty much, you know, most quotes in quotes modelable. You can model those people. Uh, you can shape them in different shapes.
you
That
mean
they
like
are small children, very small children, and how in the world you will catch attention, draw attention of small children? Bam! You will start to show them, you know, fairy tales, and I'm like, oh my god. And that's the stuff, subliminal stuff, subliminal. Okay, that means you your eye normally, nah, you can't see, and it was like, oh my god, that was that kind of nasty violence in those quotes in quotes modified Disney movies. And I was like, what the? Because I was like, you know, I can fuck you as a soldier very good. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, what the heck is going on? I am a soldier. Give me a second. I am a soldier, okay? And I was like, oh my god, I will throw up. I
right.
saw I saw like 3 or 4 of those modified fairy tales, and it was like in between 50 minutes, 1 hour in total, and I start to throw up, literally. And I'm a soldier, do you know what I mean? And I was like, what in the world is wrong with those fairy tales? And then they start to do you know what I mean, frame by frame, and it was that kind of nasty violence. Oh my god.
Yeah, you could see subliminal words and
Yeah, no, not words, Jessica.
as well. Yeah.
Pictures. It was so crazy. And I'm like, if I was up to throw up from that, and I was like, what the heck? Those were innocent children. They need to get, as you said, they need to have childhood, Jesus Christ. Not this shit, and I will not watch my language. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, and I mean, it's not just one company that's doing it. I mean, it's been going on in the media for a long time. Even some of the old shows, like
No, Jessica, I am not talking
yeah.
about, no, Jessica, please. Those type of fairy tales are not going in mainstream media. No, they made them specially for those experiments. Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So it's part of like the child the ultra or
Yeah, child MK Ultra. Yeah. And then after they were like, how can I say that? Used to violence, but I mean like brutal violence. They were like, oh my God, I don't want to see that porn. But I mean, hardcore porn. And I was like, what the fudge? I mean, they are just children. What the heck is going on? They aren't even pre-teenage. They are like I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 at the most. And I was like, what the? Oh my God.
yeah.
Ah, that
But
was.
it also reminds me of you had said over maybe even 2 years ago or a year and a half ago about Taylor Swift and how she was she was in the dark web and
No, not dark web. You can go in this crazy, creepy website. I mean, it is not creepy, but once girls are just, undressing for money, and the stuff is, I was like, nah, it is just a nickname. Do you know what I mean? Alias. And I was like, oh my God, that's her. That's her.
you were saying this and I thought, let me see if I can find
That was crazy. Yeah.
see that? See, now this just came up, but you've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah. I'm saying it like at least 1.5, 2 years before it actually happened.
Yeah, we could probably, if we needed to, we could pull out one of the article, one of the discussions that we had.
But give me a second. That was the stuff, and I am not this kind of guy, but it looks like she really loves it, like enjoy being naked or almost naked and blah 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 and doing rest of the story. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, she's an entertainer, performer, and all that. But like you said, the comment that you always said, Peter, about her is that she's so famous, she doesn't need to do any of this.
But this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But they're saying it's AI generated only, but this has been going on for years.
No, this is not generated AI because I saw it on my own eyes. I mean, give me a second.
Yeah, they're calling it fake AI.
No, I understand, but I'm saying that what I saw on this website was on my own eyes.
Yep. No, I believe you. So like in order to probably protect her, they're saying it's deep fake. Or
do you know what? That will be kind of good modus operandi. Yep. Yeah, because deep fake are, how can I say it? It's all over the place. Yeah.
There's one way.
Thanks to the or because to the AI. Yep, you are right. So my wife is very open to, she don't want to speak publicly, but she said that, if you want, you can say about that crap. Oh my.
Well, the Monarch program in particular is something that has been extremely damaging. And a lot of people don't realize that they haven't broken free from the Monarch program.
You can't, and for rest of your life, you can't. No.
Well, you can in some ways. I've had people get liberated to some degree where they feel like they're not being directed to do crazy things that it tones it down quite a bit. But yeah, it's something where, you know, they don't know really what they're being influenced or affected. And so that's also another problem that we're having is
Yeah, this is what I want to say. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You nailed it. Yeah.
So all right, so moving on.
Moving on, I want to say what happened to me yesterday. I mean, I don't know what is the date here. Here and there we've got January 25th. It's Friday. And Jessica, I called Jessica and she was like, what the heck is going on with you, Peter? And I was mesmerized by fairies. Fairies are my nightmare. And I was feeling like under influence. Don't ask me if it was like alcohol or drugs. I am not using anything of that crap. That was so crazy. Oh my god. And I am very honest to all of you guys, I mean our listeners and viewers, because that's only possible option how to build solid and correct, you know, relationship. Maybe you don't agree with me, Jessica, but I'm saying things how they are, respectively how they were, because it is not like I wasn't feeling well. It was so crazy. I was like, everything was blurry and fuzzy, and I was like, I don't know, like from airplane, and the things, the dimensions and everything was moving, and oh my god, that was so wild.
It's like, you know, I've even worked with people that have that experience where they literally feel like they're drugged. And there was I think I did a regression with someone and they literally went into some kind of weird psychedelic experience, and they're like they couldn't get out of it, you know, during the regression. I'm like, I mean, it was kind of scary for both of us. And so
sorry for interrupting you, Jessica, and be honest with me. Was you scared? You, like,
I was scared because she was in a regression at the time when I did it.
Okay.
So she didn't know how to get out of it, and I was having to guide her through to get out of it. It's like someone's given a roofie or something, or given some kind of like psychedelic, and they're on this kind of weird trip, and you're like,
but give me a second. Was you sure that she didn't use?
I'm positive. 100% positive.
Shit.
Yeah. So, you know, just let's talk back to like what happened to you earlier. So you had an incident where you went to a time travel jump and ended up in the Tribec Mountains, which was someone redirected you there somehow, right? And then before you know,
sorry, because that was the mission I was missing, okay? Or I went missing, my bad. And the vantage point, now we can talk about that. Vantage point was in Toronto Tower.
Right.
And try to guess, people, if you get Slovakia and Toronto, right? Pew! And Tribec Mountains. I think we should write this. I think we should write this, and it maybe ended up in the description of the video. Somehow, somebody, something. Don't ask me what happened.
But that wasn't your destination. The Tribec was not your destination, right?
Oh, definitely not. The vantage point was the stuff. The vantage point was the Toronto Tower, and of course the nearby places. Yep, this is literally Tribec. Yep, this is
Missing
it.
people, unresolved.
There are dozens of missing people, okay? Dozens. Like in last, let's say 60, 70 years, let's say after Second World War, dozens of missing people. Even not maybe like 200-300 or something like that. It's absolutely crazy. And I think that just because we ended up somehow there, and I will not watch my language, pissed up the fairies. Oh my God.
But you weren't
They are not normal fairies, and that's another problem, that they are much more
aggressive,
sensitive, and they are like, nah, hey, what the heck you idiot are doing in our space? They are calling in Slovak, because in Slovak language, fairy is vila. But this is it is kind of hard to translate. It is bludička. And bludička, that means that this kind of being or group of beings, right, will hunt you down until you get lost in the whole mountains, right?
They can throw off your direct.
Yeah.
I mean, Peter, I've, even just driving down a street where I live, I was thrown off, and one time you and I were talking, and 5 minutes from my home, I ended up 20 minutes in another town, and don't even ask me what happened.
What?
Yeah, I remember it was a while back. We were talking on the phone.
Okay.
And it was about 5 minutes from my home, and then before you know it, I went to take a left from my turn, and it wasn't there. And then I realized I'm in another town. I recognized the town.
What?
Yeah, and then I had to turn around and figure out now I have to go back home because I was literally 20 minutes from home now. I don't even know how it happened. So if that happens,
oh my God.
Right? So you go into a place like this where it's prevalent, more of a chance, even like maybe 80% chance that something like this can happen. Very, very high percentage. So you had that incident, and then which was fatal for you, but we helped with time reset, and then following after that, I ended up going to Strasbourg.
Okay.
Right? So I go to Strasbourg, which is bordering France and Germany.
I know.
Things started acting really weird, and then I discovered this. So in 1518, there was a dancing plague, and literally a woman started dancing. Her name was Frau Trophia. Who began dancing.
Give me a second, Jessica. Sorry, I need to, how can I say it? Ask you, because I don't understand. So that means, aka literally, that those people once they start to dance, they didn't stop to dance, or let's say, how can I say it? They danced until they dropped dead or something?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They called it the dancing plague. They began to dance fervently in the street in Strasbourg. Trophia kept up the constant dancing for a week. So no sleep, just keep dancing. And then for 3 dozen others joined in. And by August, the dancing plague had claimed 400 victims.
Oh my
Dancers began to collapse. It's said that even died from stroke or heart attack. And no one knew what caused this reaction, which meant no one understood how to remedy it. And by early September, the outbreak began to subside when the dancers were sent to a mountain shrine to pray for absolution. By the way, the person who did the drawing is named Peter.
Now, hey, please. Okay. Okay. Okay, you are listeners, coincidences. Okay.
All right. So then here's fairy dance. And so it's related to fairies where they would, have people. It's the same thing. It is a foolish thing for you to, sir, to ask me to dance. So she meets this prince. He's wearing a red sash and a golden band on his long yellow hair. And they
give me a second. I need to ask you, okay? But be serious with me. What are the fairies? Because I met them plenty of times, but according to quotes in quotes serious science, none of them, like being something like that, and all kind of those creepy crap, nothing like that exists. So are you in, or should you be in some sort of, or let's say under some sort of influence of, I don't know, certain natural gas, or you drink something and you are hallucinating? And I'm asking serious because I saw fairies, or let's say, I don't want to say fairies, but something what literally perfectly fits to description of fairies. So be honest with me, okay? Are they real or are they not real? Okay, that's my question.
Peter, they are literally a part of our nature. So that's the magic in nature. There's water spirits, there's earth spirits, there is air spirits, there's fire spirits.
So you mean like those basic elements? Basic elements.
They're that's why they're called elementals. Yeah.
Give me a second. This is the stuff why you cannot stop fire set by jinn. Because jinn is water. You said me, right? Jinn is from water, what so forth?
Fire. They're fire beings.
Fire beings? Jeez.
Jinn? Yeah. Yeah, they're fire. You always see smoke around them.
So that means that you can have flamethrower. And you believe that you will, quotes in quotes, kill jinn with flamethrower. And it is pretty much like you try to kill somebody as a man just to throw, do you know what I mean, water? Because we are, I don't want to say water beings, but you know.
I don't think it's that simple with the jinn. I know that they're fire beings. You can't get rid of fire with fire. But
and just by the way, they are like, if you go to their place, yeah.
It's kind of like fighting nature. So if you understand and respect nature in a way that they'll respond accordingly, and if they're not acting normal, if these spirits are not acting normal, there's, whether it's territory, like, which is the problem you ran into, that you went into their territory.
But give me a second. Without getting it, how can I say it? Without intention. Do you know what I mean? Like.
All right. So that's like when I somehow stumbled on those hornets or bees or whatever they were this summer, and they came at me like an army.
You said me that was crazy. You said me.
I've never had problems with, bees would fly around me, no problem, because I'm not afraid of them. But usually they're just flying around and they're looking for pollen and that sort of thing. Or maybe I'm wearing something that smells like, whether it's soap or.
But give me a second. Bees and hornets are big difference. Two species with very different. I mean, they are much. It is difference in how big they are in the first place, and their, can I say it, but it is like it is mentality, or I don't know how can I call it.
It was somewhere in the middle. So there were the bees that are underground. You know, they had burrowed underground.
I understand that.
And I was
Okay.
mowing the lawn, so I, you know, probably woke them up, or they didn't like what was happening there, so they attacked.
But give me a second. What is this? I mean, I know we are getting from topic to topic, but why in the world I was, I don't want to say haunted, but followed by this gem that so many, I mean, rest of the crew, you know.
You were in the military and you were in the desert somewhere, right?
Yeah, give me a second. And they, you know, the jinn, I don't want to say jinn because I don't know what they were, transformed to very beautiful women. And we know rest of the story, what happened, right?
Yeah.
And then there was this Hakim. Hakim is the word, the term for wise men, men of the wisdom in Islamic world. And was it that bad just talk to Hakim? I mean, I didn't knew, okay, it wasn't Hakim at all, but he was jinn pretty much, because I was so, how, I don't want to say haunted, but followed by this jinn. Oh my goodness.
Did you talk disrespectful to the Hakim?
No, it was very good conversation. I was sad. He said like he's very angry at all the countries, and I was like, hey, I am here, and if I will be for, I mean, if it should be like for me, I will stop the war immediately. And I said, I've got photographs and videos. I yelled, and sorry for that, at Americans that if they are stupid, that they cannot just destroy thousands and thousands of years old, you know, buildings, that it is not good, because they will awake spirits.
Right.
And I literally told this to him because it was true. And he was like, he was unhappy, not from me, but from the whole situation. But what the heck should I do? I just told him the truth.
But then what happened? A jinn showed up afterwards?
No, that's the stuff. I was followed by this jinn, and he did very weird stuff, like electronics problem,
Yeah.
and all kind of that stuff, you know. And I was like, oh my god. And then in many cases, I was like, okay, can I see this guy only me? Can I see? And then, oh my god, those and other people, for example, they were like 8, 10, 1 dozen, or maybe like 20 people in the room, and they were seeing him. They were seeing him, and he was talking about how miserable it was. Sorry, Mesopotamia, my bad. I should tell this. I mean, in Iraq, and I was like, oh my god, this is bad. And he said that I was there. You know, it's like,
they can be very dramatic to make sure that you know that it was a otherworldly experience, so that you don't forget it, so they don't think you think it's just an average conversation, but that they really want to.
Yeah, but it wasn't disrespectful from my point of view. I was like, yeah, You
It doesn't
are
matter.
not. And I was like, but I know, you know that I know. He was like, in the very first conversation, I know you are not Hakim. And then the situation, and I was like, I know that you should earn much more respect than a regular Hakim. And he was like, how? And I said certain things because I've got the historian in my family who is Arabist. So that means he was dealing with the rest this part of the world, and he was like, and what does it mean? And I was like, I think that those people will not understand you, but I understand you, and I will be very upset if they will go to my country and do the same crap to your country, because this is not their country, Iraq. This is Mesopotamia. If they like it or not.
Yeah.
And he was in shock. To be perfectly honest, he was in shock.
Well, that helped you then by talking to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse.
No, because I know that he wasn't a hakim. He wasn't normal hakim. I know.
He just wanted to talk. He wanted to talk to you and see what you believed and.
But why in the world all of the rest of the crew just I don't want to say certain words with the girls, I mean women, and he just talked as a hakim. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I want to show you this part right here, Peter. Look at this.
Okay.
The term fairy has an ancient etymology originating from the Proto-Indo-European BHA, meaning to speak, to tell, or say. It later developed into Latin as fata, meaning the fates. In the Latin developed the old French term meaning fée, meaning fairy, and fairy, which means land of fairies, meaning meeting of fairies, enchantment, magic, witchcraft, sorcery.
No.
So you can see the varying degrees of light and like childlike, and then it goes all the way into witchcraft and sorcery. So that energy, harnessing the earth's energy, has a varying degrees of good and bad, right? So you have the fairies.
So pretty much fairies can, and this is it, can be innocent, right? Can be.
Yes. And then
shit.
some of them, their energy could be used for sorcery, like the druids, some of those others that have used the energy for different things, for power, and for insight.
Do you know what? I'm afraid of druids.
And
I was in thanks. I don't want to say thanks because the time traveling program I was at that time when Stonehenge was built and all kind of like, and I was like, oh my god.
Back to Stonehenge time?
Yep.
Oh, so
you can go that back way, and I was like, oh my god.
Okay, so explain to me then the actual structure of Stonehenge. It looks like it's been man-made or fabricated.
It is easy, Jessica. It is my bad. Now it is not, because it is heavily damaged because of time. But it was a calendar. You know what I mean?
But when it wasn't it was an actual structure that ancient mankind created, but not fake, like some people believe it was all fake. Like that was modern. It's not just a modern structure, or did it look different then?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right.
That it looked different.
Yep.
In what way?
Give me a second. What I am saying is, it is only partial of that, but it wasn't that kind of complicated.
So
Or
did they just fix the pieces and add in other pieces that were broken?
yeah, you are right. You are right. Crap. The Druids. Yep. And it was so precise. It's like, I don't know, for example, our mathematics, and all kind of that stuff. Do you know what? Screw that. Screw that. Nope. Oh my God. It is so precise. I mean, my bad. It was not, still it is, but the complex and all kind of that stuff, complicity. Long story short, it is not like as we know, as we know, my bad, as we believed. And if you go anywhere, okay, in the Stone Age, they can, and this is it, I don't want to say everything, but they can predict almost everything. It is absolutely crazy. Okay, they can predict time when will be raining. I mean, heavily raining. Well, when they will be dry. I don't know. Many stuff. Decades of how can I say it? Like Schumann resonance. Of course, they don't know about nothing. They don't give a crap about Schumann, but they, quotes in quotes, calculated heartbeat of Earth and all kind of that stuff. It was absolutely crazy. I don't want to say in good or bad way, because look, it's easy. If something is that kind of complex, complicated, and so precise, it is like double-edged sword. You can use it, but misuse it. You know, it is like you have knife. You can make slice of bread, but if you are in you know, fury, you can stab people. You know what I mean? If don't ever fight and make an argument in kitchen. And I'm sorry, I'm making that was stupid laugh, stupid joke. This is it. So many of people were using it for as aka good purpose or purposes, but there were another. They were misusing it because there were no sorry for that. There were no quotes in quotes guards. They will simply say like, hey, don't go there, or even without that, okay, they will go and make plans of Stonehenge and use / misuse it for bad purposes. They created one of very first functional atomic bomb, a high yield atomic bomb. I mean, do you know what I mean?
How old is this, Peter? I mean, I know that I could probably look it up and see what Wikipedia says the date, but so you went back did you go back when they first made it?
Wikipedia is saying approximately 5,000 years old, 5,100 years old. Actually, it's not true. Actually, it's not true. What we know, it is approximately in between, approximately 8,000 years old. I mean, my bad, 10,000 years old.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
It is absolutely crazy, geez. Thanks to that, they were able to concentrate energy and transport the energy to make solid stuff, very small stuff, and it was reactor, okay? Reactor to make, it was outer earth element. I can see that I can say that right here, right now, let's say loudly. What, let's say, the function was very similar to plutonium, okay? And they deployed first high yield atomic bomb. It was absolutely crazy.
They did this through energy, or they did this?
Yeah, through the energy. And it didn't happen inside, quotes in quotes, ground zero, wasn't inside the Stonehenge. It was absolutely crazy what they were able to do so.
So that you're saying an atomic bomb that was created through the magic that they conjured through their.
No, I don't want to say call magic. They have math. They have physics.
Science.
They have chemistry.
We'll say,
but
okay.
But give me a second. We are making like, hey, we are some sort of, we are clever and all kind of that stuff. Like last 3-4 centuries. Do you know what? F that. Do you know what I mean? Few that. Do you know what I mean? No. And I will tell you why. Because this is bullshit. It is bullshit, Jesus Christ. Jeez.
Well, you know that they had levels of power, but like you said, they understood the elements. So the elements are science.
Yes. But give me a second. I'm
not
a second. That was out of earth element.
I see.
You know what? This doesn't make any sense, Jesus Christ.
So they're pulling from another dimension?
Yeah, they created a portal. And right. Just by the way, of course, we were not there, and do you know what I mean? Not measuring that, but it is approximately, or we believe that it was 2 times bigger than Castle Bravo. Oh my God. It was approximately 30 megatons. That means it is like half of Tsar Bomba, you know? Tsar Bomba, it is Russian stuff in between 55 to 60 megatons. It is absolutely crazy, geez.
How did they not die when this happened?
Or because they've got technologies. They've got airplanes. They've got everything. Jesus Christ.
During nobody 10,000 years ago.
Jessica, because in Mahabharata, in Ramayana, it is absolutely, it is, they were describing the same crap too.
I know that. No, I'm not doubting you at all. Just nobody ever talks about Stonehenge like that. But I know about the Mahabharata saying that.
Huh? And this is what I'm talking about. It doesn't make absolutely sense.
So they wanted to wipe everyone's memory of what happened there.
Exactly. You get it.
There it is right there, see?
Yep. Mahabharata. I can't say that.
I know. I can.
Yep. You are right.
Yeah, no, most people don't ever, I've never heard anyone giving this part of the history, even although I know that they had knowledge, very, very ancient knowledge that they brought in.
But that's my question. That's my question. And be honest with me. How in the world is like that historians don't want to get that?
I don't think there's, I think they wiped the records of these incidents that were happening. I don't think historically they have this information aside from the Druids themselves have it probably.
And give me a second. So you are saying, okay, you are saying that it is like those are unreliable sources, and we don't get them like do you know like that? You mean something like that?
I'm saying that historically, if we maybe they were in the records of Alexandria or something that are missing.
And give me sorry. I know it is very impolite, but I want to say you something. Many historians are or were saying, or let's say they are insisting, okay, that if library of Alexandria or Alexandrian library will be not burned, we will be thousands years in front of. Do you know how can I say? Do you know what I mean? Like
thousands of years more advanced.
Yeah. I mean, give me a second. Historians are saying, okay, because
I agree.
Because the stuff is that many other historians, let's say there are two groups of historians, are saying that it is, or let's say it was not, or let's say they were not so many scripts that those high intelligent people just went there and led discussions. But there are not so many, or let's say they were not so many, you know what I mean, written scripts from those discussions. But, you know, library was burned, so we never know. I'm just saying.
This large library also existed during the time of Babylon in the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. There were about 40,000 to 400,000 scrolls, perhaps equivalent to roughly 100,000 books that were destroyed.
Yeah. You are right.
Yeah.
But you know what? In this is crazy. In Ramayana is the same crap.
Yes.
In Ramayana, just by the way, they were talking about do you know what? About AI. They were talking about teleporting. They were talking about wormholes, portals to another realities.
Yes.
And why in the world nobody wants to talk about that? Jesus Christ.
I think the people from India that know that their documentations have been talking about it, but they had, just like the ancient Greek writings, they want.
But Jessica, sorry for interrupting you, but those stuff is almost 3,000 years old. What the heck is going on? Sorry, I'm just kind of sorry.
I know you're getting excited about it. It's true, Peter. I mean, this is information that is available, but people want to say that it's lore, that it is just, fictitious.
Legend? You mean legend?
Just a legend, because they want to erase the whole idea of our history. They want to change it so we don't remember anything. They want us to be dumb, and they want us to be slaves and just work menial jobs to serve them. And it's been going on for a long time.
Oh, for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's, remember you met Ravenna, right? You met
Ah,
Jess.
yeah.
Yeah. We won't bring him up because we know
No,
he.
no, no. Hey, Jessica, please. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
And that's my. I will tell you something. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. Those entities are real. No discussion. Period. If you don't believe us, I'm talking to all of you listeners. Screw that. I will literally say screw that, because I described like I was in the missions, not me. We with our units, not only me with one unit, many units, and I was like, okay, I see or I saw this and that, because I have no goddamn clue. And then Jessica started to laugh. Okay, do you know you just faced or you met with? And I was like, nope. And then you start to get me all like who it is, the entity, and which kind of part of the world it is, and all kind of that stuff. And I wasn't under influence. Okay, I am never using any drugs or alcohol. I'm not drinking alcohol, nothing. Okay, and I faced those entities and met them, and I'm like, okay, this is it. You know what I mean? This is it. And if somebody don't like it, then don't like it. Am I right?
yeah. No, I mean you can tell them and then you see the outcome of it.
Do you know what? Yeah. Because those entities are, as you said, yeah.
I want to bring up John D as well because he was very much a druid and he opened up.
Oh, he was very famous druid. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah. So and he opened up a whole lot. You know, as far as like I don't know if he created a bomb, but he definitely changed our paradigm. That's how much he opened up.
Do you know what? I will tell you something. John D is, or was, I think was, okay, a time traveler. He got so many times in time. I mean, sorry, he traveled so many times in time. This sentence is crazy. And I met him. I met him plenty of times. Even in 20 and 20 first century. And you are like, what? No. And I'm like, yeah, yes. It is how it is. John D, yep, you are right. You are right.
Well,
He
I
was
was
very
actually
powerful. He was druid with very powerful, how can I say it, spiritual gift. And it wasn't like he was saying nonsenses and I will not watch my language bullshit. He, like, you was talking to him, right?
yeah.
And I was like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? He was silence. He stayed silence for like 40 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. And then he started to say such stuff, such full of wisdom, that you are like, oh my God, I need to record that, or I need to write that, or I mean like record, like make video footage or audio footage or something like that. And this is it, because he was in the very first time when Stonehenge was built. Okay, actually, yes, this is my bad. This is my bad. I didn't knew, or let's say we didn't knew in ACIO his original name at that time, but I can fully comprehend, as it is in military terminology, affirmative. I can affirm that it is him. Like, if he something said or wrote about Stonehenge, then bam, that was it. You know what I mean? That was it. And so many people are like, nah, they are just saying creepy crap. You know what? From my point of view, it is much better that Stonehenge is not complete. And I will tell you. I will exactly tell you why. Because if they make it complete again, oh my goodness, it will open up so wide variety of options how to, and this is it, how to use it for good purposes, but misuse it for bad purposes. Because of geological location, exact geological location in the first place, and geographical orientation of the whole, how can I say it, set of stones. It was so perfectly well calculated. And that's my question. Why in the creepy, crappy crap world nobody wants to talk about that? Sorry, I got emotional about this because it is the same stuff as in India, in Mahabharata and Ramayana.
People talk about John Dee all the time. I've never heard anyone say that he's a time traveler, which completely makes sense to me. And also,
No, give me a second. I understand you that the people talk about John Dee, but who in the world will tell you that he is or was time traveler? Because he is still alive, Jesus Christ.
So supposedly he was born in London, where we have that big anomaly, was a portal in London right now. Did he do that?
Yep.
Okay, so there's another.
And I will tell you why.
Okay.
Because there are this initiative of people that they want to make Stonehenge, quote unquote, Stonehenge great again. And I'm just like, oh my God. And he wants to stop it for all the cost. And I was like, of course. Because people, it is pretty much like you give the matches to the child, and child will just, do you know what will, how it will end up? And he know the potential, good, either good or bad, and we know what will happen if it will end up in the bad scenario. We know that.
You think it will end up bad?
Give me a second, Jessica. I don't know. Because people don't know. People are just, druids and worshippers and all kind of that stuff. But Jessica, we've got how many wars going on in the world? And do you know what? Do you really believe that in UK and US they don't know which kind of potential it has? And be honest, okay? Be honest. I am in military. I am in special forces, special units in a NATO, okay? I know what American wants. I know what Britain, what the British wants. Okay, it is fuck up. I know. I think I think it will be maybe screwed by our technician because it is how it is. People want to get it to misused for bad purposes.
So you're saying John D is working for you to help stop this?
Of course.
I want to show you something.
Because it will be any kind of
No, you need someone that they can relate to, that they'll listen to.
Because it can be that kind of potential. You don't need any bomber like airplane. You don't need any kind of rocket. You don't need any kind of small shitty chute to explode. It can create energy, and I can have like one pint, or I don't know what is it, like 1 pound. It is 450 grams or even less, something like biochemical warfare, and it will explode with that kind of power that you will not even be able to imagine, just because of that. Okay, it is crazy. Jesus Christ.
I heard a super soldier talk about what was his name, Michael Aquino, and he was involved with the war. He used some, technique of I'll call it magic, to actually stop the war, or to have it, go in his direction.
And this is it, what I am just trying to say. It is not sorry, I get emotional because this is not.
I don't want to, I'm not trying to tell people to go into this stuff that they did, but I just wanted to show it as an example. And I also want to point out, so John D, in a little more positive side, you're saying he's coming to help.
Not more, he's very positive.
Look at the name. He is supposed to be a descent. He claimed he was descended from Rodi Mar, which is probably the one I know as Rodan, which is Odin.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, you are right.
So there's another piece to this as well, Peter, that I've always thought that Johnny Depp had, like, he was influencing Johnny Depp, because the name is almost the same, but Johnny Depp was influencing through a lot of his movies, more than just acting.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. So I'm just saying, Jessica, this is so crazy. We start like, okay, we want to talk about this, we want to talk about that, and hey, it ended up in total different topics. So typical for us, am I right?
Right. Well, getting back to what we originally started talking about with your situation, and how you were brought back and everything, in this movie, they use a ring for time travel. He's got a ring.
Hey, Jesus Christ, don't even try to think about this.
50 seconds, that's the name of the movie. You can see, the effect of what happens, and he jumps and he goes back in time and is able to change things.
Yeah, you are right.
You're right.
But there are always negative consequences, or let's say side effects.
Right. So I just wanted to bring that up. I'm trying to see how much time we have here. I wanted to bring this up. This is a time travel interview that was done by Art Bell, and he's very respected. A lot of his work is, people still to this day listen to. He was on the show Coast to Coast AM. People around the world listen to this show. This show took place in the year, I think it was 1998. And it was a time traveler by the name of Jonathan, also he called himself Single 7, his code name. And he said that he was from the year 2063.
Yep.
What I thought was interesting is he was working for the UN, and he came back as an agritech. So someone sent this to me. One of the individuals that follow what we're doing, and thought this would be very interesting because this is related to global warming. Because this individual, Jonathan, came back and he was, as an agritech, he was trying to get certain kind of seeds that could be used in hotter temperatures, because the goal of them from the future was to change the global temperature in order to prevent these grays from coming into the reality, because somewhere in the future they get in a battle with them. And the grays like it very cold, and they like it, the only way to get rid of them is to make the earth 15 degrees hotter, right? And they called them the MIM, which was interesting. So he came back to try to find seeds that could accommodate that kind of heat. So 15 degrees more hotter. And so they were using satellites. There was a team that was using satellites and that were going to make the earth warmer. And then the ETs were trying to make it colder. This gray group, they were trying to make it colder, actually turn it into an ice age. So, and a lot of other things happened on top of that. Plus AI, they talk about AI and a neural link that's in the future that they use for entertainment with, I think it was for when they were with partnerships and whatever, trading places.
I understand. I understand what you mean. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on this, Peter?
Let's say, yeah, this is legit.
And you know him, Jonathan.
Yep. But I can't get another more details because, it is still hot case, aka.
Well, what about those satellites? I'm sure the ACIO can either verify or say that's not what they used.
Yeah, of course they are using satellites. They've got specific satellites. Nobody knows about them. Officially, of course.
So this is a battle of the Earth becoming very hot or becoming very cold. And do you know who these MIMs are? He called them MIM.
Yeah, they are from fifth array density, and they want to help us.
Well, what about if they want to turn us into an ice age? Is that true?
No.
Why did he say that?
Give me a second. Yeah, they want the bad guys want to do that. Yeah, you are right.
Okay, so then these are not the ones you're talking about. The fifth array density are not the same ones. Are these androids?
Nope.
That want to turn it into an ice age?
No. Once again, give me a second. Androids, they don't care about the temperature, just by the way.
Okay. But the grays do.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they've got another ways of body, how it is working.
Oh, so that they like it colder, like he said.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And so what do you think, what does the ACIO see should happen here? I mean, should it be warmer? Should it be cooler? What should it be?
It doesn't matter actually how it will be here and there, because here since 2032, we will be not here, not anymore.
Okay,
We
so,
will-
all right, hold that thought. I want to do a cliffhanger. We're gonna talk about this in the next show, and then we'll have more time to discuss about this video or this interview that was done years ago. I think it's 1998.
Yeah,
that-
you said like that. Long
Is that
story
okay?
short, we will be like that, okay?
Okay, we're gonna bring this topic up again, and just so people know, wait for the next show, and we'll have more of a discussion on it. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay, so maybe you can just tell everyone, thank you for being on the show, and
Okay.
you can
Yeah,
go.
so I want to say thank you very much for being on the show. To all of our regular and maybe not so regular listeners, I want to say thank you very much, Jessica, for giving me another opportunity to be on your channel. And I'm really looking forward for next time. Stay safe, and till then, bye bye.
Bye, and thank you everyone for listening. We really appreciate you. Leave some comments below, and until next time, have a good day.
You have been watching Disclosures. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Visit www.acio-official.org and www.readingsbyarael.com to book a private session with Jessica. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you, and until next time.